I think we do it. That's much better. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2, playing our city of Second City. And today we're starting off this episode with a short time lapse. If you want to jump ahead, it ends at about the 5-minute mark. But what we're diving into today is the Marley Nature Reserve and Evergreen Terrace Park, the park that every episode I say we got to do that park, and then I never do. So right here, what I'm trying to do, in my head, I had this vision of a stream kind of winding through the nature reserve, ending in a lake at the bottom of the reserve. I don't know how many times I tried this. This is like the 4th or 5th attempt, and I just give up. So we end up with just a beautiful little lake at the end of the reserve. But as you can see, I just keep flooding the new area. And every time I try a different approach, I just somehow produce more water. So it doesn't take long for me to realize this is not the way to do this. Let's just level out the land. Let's put a flat level section here at the bottom. We'll make this into a lake. We can, raise the land around it as needed, but there'll be a nice little water feature in the nature reserve. I prioritize just pathways for this nature reserve. I do in the live play, you'll see this later on, I do add in like the campground and maybe one little park, but there's really no services over here. This is just meant to be a spot for people to walk from one area of the city to the other and it look like they're walking through the nature preserve. I did know I wanted to have a pathway go underneath of a bridge, but unfortunately this little span of road is not enough for any of the bridges. So I just elevate that small section. We'll put a path through it and you can kind of walk underneath of the road. I thought it looked nice. Then we add in a little bit of parking. I realized when I put down these parking lots that we have gravel roads. I still don't understand why we don't have gravel paths. So my only thing that I don't like about this nature preserve is that it's a concrete path all the way through it. Ideally, it would have been gravel, but for now, it will do. Then we just go in and I slather a ton of trees around this area. I will say, unfortunately, right when I finished this park, which I feel like this happened the last time we did a time lapse where we did like a nature park, it becomes winter. And everything gets this like blue shade to it. And it's not as vibrant. But then we move over here to Evergreen Terrace. Now, not in this episode, but next episode, I really want to prioritize getting the university done. And I thought before we do the university, we need to finish the park that's right next door to it. So over here, I build out like a little community garden, if you will. We can imagine the university students are like studying the plants or something. And I just try to give this a little bit more detail and structure. It's essentially the complete opposite of the nature reserve. That area, I just cover it in trees and throw down paths all over the place. Whereas here, I want to make it a lot more structured, a lot more intentional, and I kind of end up creating this boulevard with these double, triple paths that go straight across, connecting two separate intersections for kind of our two main avenues for the city, and it looks really nice. I think this turned out really well, and there's a ton of people using it, which I'm so excited about. They even walk through this little garden area, which I don't know how this is a faster path than just going straight, but I'm not complaining. I love that they're walking around it. So over here, just do a little shed. We build this little eating area. So you'll see that I put down some benches, a few little shops and stalls, as well as try to put down some umbrellas, and I give it a pavement surface just so that this feels kind of like the hangout spot if you're there to meet other people at the park. And then other than that, we just do a few trees and a little bit of surface work. And that's about the bulk of this whole park. So we'll explore it more in the live play. But until then, the goals for today, besides these two parks, are to build out the new areas that we laid the roads for last week and just get some more people in the city and get ready to expand to a university. We do a little bit of bus work. We rework one of the trams entirely and just kind of expand our population a bit. Where are we at now? We're at 103,000. We end around 110, 111. I can't exactly recall, but I will see you guys in 10 seconds in live play. All right, so we just finished that time lapse. I'm going to briefly show you both of these little parks here. So this is Evergreen Terrace. I didn't do anything too crazy. I thought about going further with this, but I think for now this is a good place to start. So we've got, this little area here with a fountain, some food stalls, and then over here I'm imagining it's some kind of like community garden with an orchard. That's about it. A lot of green space, some trees, all around. It's looking pretty nice. I'm very happy with how this turned out. And surprisingly, there's a decent number of people who are using this pathway to cross through. There's even some who are walking through this way, which looks like they're walking through the gardens, which I think is very fun. And then I couldn't find a statue I liked, so I placed these 3 stone heads here. Over here, I worked on Marley Nature Preserve. My thinking with this, like I'd mentioned in the last part, is that we had those farms. Part of the agreement of those farms being bought out and moved over to Orson is that we would preserve some area for just nature. So I ended up, you'll maybe see in the time lapse, I tried to make a river running through it to kind of justify this windy road. I gave up on that pretty quick. So we now just have a beautiful pond that sits here and is surrounded by a number of paths. I don't think anyone takes it just yet. Then again, there's not a lot happening over here, but for now, that's it. I mean, it doesn't function like anything. Can we give it like a fun perk? Combustion engine ban. Yeah, let's do that for sure. Energy consumption awareness, sure. Heavy traffic ban, yeah. Roadside parking, a fee for parking on the roadside. The cost of parking will be adjusted with the slider. It's very expensive to park on the roadside here. Don't park on these roads. And we'll put speed bumps, why not? So now that we've got both of those areas finished out, I think what we got to do next is begin to do some zoning and work on our university. So let's start with the zoning. Let's get some more people in here. In this area, I'm thinking like we've done in the rest of this build. I want to build this out in a way that can slowly grow as we grow as a city. So let's do this. We've got perfect grids here. We're going to leave a 3x5. Let's just go ahead and start zoning this direction and see what happens. I might even just go like this. Yeah. Let them fill in the whole area. We'll do the same thing here with this. We'll leave a 3 at the end. Do the same thing here as well. We're going to need to give services to this section and everything, but we will get there. And actually, maybe what we'll do, this was the NA low density. Maybe we'll switch over and do a little bit of the Southwest in here as well, just to mix it up a little bit. And then maybe we'll also do a little EE in here. Why not? A little bit on the smaller side here. What else we got? UK. I don't know if I want to do any of those, although I wouldn't mind doing the terraced houses, just a few here and there. But like a way to bring a little bit more density into this without bringing in more density. Okay. Oh, and both of these are actually much larger. All right, that's fine. We'll do that. So now we've got tons of low density residential there. We do have some demand for medium density. And I think as we get closer to this road here, I would want to leverage that. So let's go ahead and do some medium density. I wouldn't mind doing some low rent. Okay, let's do the EE low rent housing. We'll do a little bit of this here. I'm thinking this area may be more row homes. So why don't we, along this road here, put just a smattering of medium density houses right there. And I think we could also get away with doing something like that maybe right here as well. Then that's going to address that high density demand. Then we need to do some medium density demand. I think we're going to do just the regular NA medium density housing. I've already set this up so that we can only zone on the, I guess, north and south sides of these roads. So let's go ahead and do a smattering there. We're just going to go 3 back there. Maybe we'll go 4 back here. We'll do 4 back all the way along here, 3 back all the way along here. This can be the 4. All right, let's address some of this commercial demand. Let's do, I want to do a kind of a mix, I think. So we're going to do, a collection of, let's want to pause this. We're going to do a collection here. We'll also do a collection right here. But then let's also switch over to Southwest, get a little bit of Southwest, and we'll do a little bit of the Northeast. Not a whole ton. We'll get some. Then we can do the same thing with the offices, but I want to use the southwest offices because these, I think, look awesome. I kind of want to leave this area here somewhat open, so we're just going to let that go. Let's see what we get. We could also consider more offices along this strip as well. Let's just do all of that. Ignore the fact that this is flooded. This is a remnant of a mistake I made. I'm hoping it goes away. I don't know how to get rid of it. I'm hoping over time it just slowly gets absorbed into the ground. I think it will. Who knows? Okay. So this is really going to stress this intersection. We have a light here. I'm tempted to, for the moment, just get rid of it. Let's get rid of this crosswalk. We don't want a crosswalk there. And if there's a light here, get rid of it. Just let people stream on in. Like, they're going to need to. I wouldn't mind trying to find another way to get people in here, though. I don't know if that's going to be that simple. We could consider getting a connection here. Sending them off and over, but then we would intersect Holly Lane, which I don't want to do that. Okay, for now, we're going to leave it. There's only one entrance. It's right here. It's going to get really backed up, but that's okay. All right, houses are moving in. Let's figure out what kind of services this area needs. So if we look at healthcare, Pinewood is already covered, I believe, by this guy. Yeah, you cover Pinewood Acres, and honestly, your patient count is totally fine. So why don't we have you cover both Marley Nature Preserve and Mullins? I don't think that's a big deal. We will place a small medical clinic, maybe somewhere in here. Let's actually place this over here on this corner. And for now, you're only going to operate in these two districts. So they get a little bit double support here, but nothing too crazy. We probably also need to think about death care down here, just because I feel like we're never going to have enough. Oh, and we have this clinic here. Where do you operate? Let's go ahead and give you Dickinson Narrows as well as Evergreen Terrace. That seems to be fitting. They also have no support over here, so the Narrow needs help. Okay, let's do a UK parish church. Mainly because I like the idea that this is like we have something older here, even though in reality this used to be farms. But I think if we put a church, that could be kind of fun. It won't fit in the middle of any of this. Ooh, but it would fit right down here. I think that's great. Just the upkeep for these is crazy, but I want to have this fully built out. So there we go. We've got a little UK parish church. Love that. As expected, we do have a traffic jam here of people trying to get over and into the new area. I wouldn't mind finding another way to send them over. Although this is going to be completely reworked soon, so you know what? There's no sense in me doing more on that in that highway interchange. Okay, so we've done both healthcare and death care. Trash, garbage processing, 3,030 tons per month. Garbage, 2,800 tons per month. Is this something as simple as we can upgrade this to have more capacity? Extra incinerator furnace provides an increase in the waste burning and energy production capacity. It produces more electricity, increases capacity by 1,500 tons a month, costs 50,000 to run. But let's just throw this on here, turn on anarchy. Oh yeah, now we can do 4,500 tons a month. Okay, so that's good enough for death care. Let's turn anarchy back off because I don't want to actually work with that. All right, now we need education. So we are going to build a university over here. But before we do that, we need to consider getting some schools over here. I'd love to do this EE Elementary, but I don't think it has any upgrades. But I think it just would fit over here so nice. Actually, this would be nice to do some more suburban style schools. So let's see. The USA Southwest Elementary School has 1,000 students. Not too bad. These are a bit more urban. City Elementary School. USA NE Elementary School. 1,200 students and can be upgraded with extension floors. It's a little bit smaller than I want, but I don't hate it. UK Suburban Primary School includes extra classroom extension. Okay. Ooh, would this fit kind of in the middle here somewhere? Oh, I turned off all the zoning on those roads. So at the moment, no, it will not. The USA Elementary School Northeast does have an extension floor upgrade, and I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of kids in this area. So let's go ahead and place this. Actually, it would fit beautifully right here. Let's place it here. Let's set it to operate in Mullins and in Pinewood Acres. I guess technically you can operate in the nature preserve, but also there's a school here, I thought. Yes. This school can operate in this nature preserve. This high school can operate over here as well. Now that is basically full, so we are going to need a separate high school for over here. We got to keep an eye on this. I'm not sure if this is going to have enough capacity as it stands. Traffic jam is really backing up along Chester Highway. All right, let's do a high school. Now, there are some really big high schools. Like, let's see, USA Southwest High School, 1,200 student capacity, can be upgraded with a library, gymnasium, and extra classrooms. How big is that? Oh my God. That's Vista Building. Great. This is huge. I think we do it. Why would we not? Why would we not? Look at this. I think we're doing it. We're far enough away from the heart of the city. There's just a big school down here. Yep. Now, I wish I could set it up so we were a bit more in line with these roads, but honestly, we're just going to let it do its thing. But does this doesn't fit. First of all, that goes on the outside. That goes there. That goes on the outside. That goes there. No, it's too big for here. We need to do that, but in a different location. Let's find a different high school. Now, this Chinese high school, this I could get into. Or UK secondary school. Still pretty big, but a little bit smaller. The Japanese one won't fit. We just built that guy. I say, let's try out this Chinese high school. We'll place this right here. Yeah, no upgrades for this, but we're going to set this to Pinewood Acres, Mullins, and we'll do Marley's Nature Preserve, even though there's only 6 people who live even close to that. This should have a road going around it. I don't see why it wouldn't. Let's to the ground, straight slope. Stick this here at the 90, go right along the back. Hold on. I definitely lined this up so it would fit. Maybe I didn't. Let's maneuver this just slightly. There we go. An expensive mistake was made. Okay, so now we've got this high school. It's got 2 students already. How are you doing? 400. Okay. Looking pretty good. How's the traffic jam going? Absolutely horrendous. Part of me is just tempted. It's not going to solve any problems. But part of me is tempted just to say, keep this at 3 lanes. Go ahead and just start getting in line. We'll go ahead and upgrade this. Ooh, milestone 15. Metropolis, great work. This is a major step forward. You are 1 step closer to greatness. Okay. The Forum of Arts, originally a covered market building in 1860, the structure has been transformed into a dynamic cultural center, hosting a wide array of diverse exhibitions. Step inside and experience a hub of recreation and creativity where visitors can immerse themselves in art, culture, community events. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and just do, I know we're going to change all this soon, but let's go ahead and just give this a bit of an upgrade to help deal with how many people are trying to get into our city here. Turn off snapping for this because I just messed that up somehow. Then we can turn snapping back on. Turn this into this. Then let's upgrade this into a 4 lane. And we could turn this into a 2 lane because it's all turning that direction. And you know what? We could even consider, because I think this is going to be changing a lot over the next, I don't know, next few episodes, next few parts. Why don't we set this up so that this is actually a 6 lane road with a divider? Yeah, let's do 6 lane with a divider right along the middle here. I can't wait for this water to go away. And we'll send that all the way to there. We'll also let that be a 6 lane road. No, that can actually probably stay 4 lanes. Now that I'm looking at it, I keep checking the wrong one. There we go. But then this will allow this turn lane to actually be upgraded into a massive 3 lane turn lane, which means this can be upgraded into a 3 lane turn lane. And this can be upgraded. We already have a 4, so this section here can be upgraded into a much bigger section as well. Doesn't solve everything, but does get tons of people in here. Oh no, now we're backing up the other direction. What's wrong with you guys? It's just a general traffic jam. Because there's no lights, there's not a moment for these people to stop streaming in. So add the lights back to both of these. I don't love this little section here, but we're just going to ignore it for now. I don't know what else to do there. Let's add the lights and let's see if this helps. You know what the problem is? We only have all these people trying to get off, but we only have one lane. Okay, hold on. I did not plan to sit here and mess with this, but now we are. If this becomes a 2-lane, and then this also becomes a 2-lane into here, briefly, this would need to become much larger to accommodate all that. But I think that's okay. That helps more people get out of here, utilizing all the lanes. It seemed to have solved, well, no, this problem is completely separate. These people are doing something funky right here. And apparently turning around to turn back around again. Yeah, that's not how the road is supposed to work. We're just going to ignore that problem down there. This does seem to be moving, although the backup is still backing up. Maybe what we need to do is we need to 4-lane 2-way highway. We need to upgrade this into something larger here. 4-lane asymmetrical highway. If I have anarchy on and we go like this, we can get 3 lanes out of here. That's maybe too much. This is what we want right there. Yep, so when you make this turn, you can get into either of these 2 lanes. That works. Back to what we were doing here. We've got schools. We're looking pretty good here. Elementary school is getting a bit sus. So I think it would be valuable just to place another extension on there. Let's fill this out with more zoning. We'll leave some of those open. I might be able to place something there. We'll do this as well. Do all this. So now we've got tons more housing available. Back here, I'm only going to go 3 back. I think anything more than that is overkill. We could do with some more business here in the center. I think we're going to do that. I think what I want to see, let's look at our options here. So these are the Southwest low density. These are the NA low density. I think I like the NA low density more than the Southwest, if I'm being totally honest. Like these just fill out their whole block much nicer. So I think we do all of this just like that. Back here, I could get into doing a little bit of EE low density, although no, it's going to look strange. Let's do a little bit of Japanese, and then we'll also do a little bit more offices back here. Just right there on the corner. Maybe we'll do half of this as an office as well. Okay, so now that's all going to fill out. That building is going to disappear. Great. We do have this little section. Let's leave it open for the moment. Let's see what other services we need to provide over here first. So, fire and rescue. Fire and rescue. You guys actually seem totally covered. So, I'm not going to worry about it just yet. Police? Elizabeth Crossing's a little shaky, but honestly, you have a police station right over here. I don't even have it set to operate in certain districts, so we're just going to let that do its thing. Busing, transportation, we definitely need to consider addressing this. Let's get a sense of what we have over here. We've got a tram network that then crosses up and over. I am thinking I might actually shift this tram network. Let's change this up. Let's upgrade. Where's the tram line at? The tram line's right here. And instead of going across the college, let's send the tram line down here to this avenue. And let's send it through this way. Now, I recognize that at the moment, this is going to be a terrible idea because there's so much traffic here. But I think we send it over here. We can just get rid of these turnarounds. We don't need them. Thank you in the comments for telling me that. And we can slow down time as well. Now let's edit this train line. So instead of going up and over, it's going to come down and across, kind of servicing a whole different section. That's going to be the only stop there. We will have a stop here. We'll do one, you know, about there-ish, and one about over here. Actually, no. We're going to do them around the intersection. I think that's better. So we'll have one here and one here. Then it's going to curve. And over here, both of these roads cross over that direction. Let's go ahead and do one here and one further up here. Then it's going to come back over and connect right there. So we're going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4 stops, but we're going to gain some other stops instead. So let's see if we can do this without ruining the other line. So let's get rid of this. Get rid of both of these stops. It's going to mean there's less opportunity to transfer, but I think all around this is going to be a better setup for this tram network. All right, so then you're coming down this way, and you're going to stop right here, and you're going to stop right here. I don't know where you're going, but I'm glad you already knew to go the direction that I had planned. That is a pretty long run there from here to here. If anything, I would say let's move this closer to this intersection. No, we're going to leave it. I think I'm fine with it. All right. Then in terms of buses, the only bus we have coming down this way is this light pink one, the Willow Terrace Pinewood Acres line. I do think, first of all, it's not even in Pinewood Acres. It's in Elizabeth Crossing. Now that we've added the nature reserve, it's not even connected there. I do think there's so few people living in this area now that we actually want to change this orientation so that it comes down and maybe comes down and crosses over here into Easton instead of going that way. Then we'll send a different bus, then come up through and maybe connect in as well. It could also be valuable for us to have, because this goes all the way over to this bus transfer station we have over here. If I can find the building, the Ortega small bus station, it maybe would be valuable to also build out a bus station over here somewhere. If we're going to shift this pink bus line over, I say let's start with that because we already know what we want to do. All right, we've got a bus stop here. Come down here, we're going to do a stop here. And we'll do one here. Okay, boom, you come over here. Then you're going to come down this way, and we'll do a stop here and a stop here. That gets you here. You're a block away from all three of the schools. You're also a block away from, or I guess 2 blocks away from the main street, but the main street is being serviced by a tram, which you can also access from here, or you come over this way and you're just in this other residential area. Okay, let's do this. This is good. Back this up to here. Then we're going to take this, send them over this way, send them over this way, send them back around to here, send them back around to here. Okay, now we come up here and we do like a weird turnaround and go that direction, which I don't really love that for this bus line. This bus line makes a major deviation to go down into Briar Downs, when in reality it probably should just go up and over here like this, and we should lose all of these stops. Okay, hold on. I gotta think here. I think that this now curving out like it is making no sense, and that this bus line should actually be much shorter than it is. We need to place small bus station right here. It's unfortunately anarchy it in because this roundabout is too close to the train itself. But with that there, I think what we need to do is we need to remove these stops from here. We need to remove these stops from here. Remove these stops. And remove these stops. You're going to stop there. You're going to come down this way. And you're going to stop in here. Then you'll proceed further down and you'll stop in the rest of the neighborhood. Okay, so that bus line is now vastly different. It just goes up and down the whole north-south lines of the city. Okay, then I think this isn't a good spot too because it's in the middle of trams, train, and other bus lines. Then we're gonna have a bus line that comes from here, goes down this direction. It'll stop here. I think we're actually gonna move these stops. So let's just go ahead and get rid of them for now. We don't even need them. You're gonna stop there. We're gonna have another stop over here, here and here. Okay, so we've got 2 stops in this area. Boom, boom, boom. It'll cross over here. No, it's gonna come down here along the edge. It will stop here. Come over into Pinewood and down. The idea of this line is that we want to get people to leave these areas and get over here to the train to then take the train to go elsewhere. So it's going to stop there in Pinewood, and then we're just going to do 1 stop down here. I think that can be right along this road. Just like that. So it kind of stops there in the center. All right, let's just edit this little section here. I like this turn. I don't like this turn though. Like I would want you to go just straight on down, turn around and come back. Yeah, that's better. And actually better yet, stay on this road. This is the road you chose. This is the road we're riding on. Or I could just move it over and we completely avoid this. If we moved that to here and moved this, it's just going to be cleaner. I think we do it. That's much better. Now we can get rid of these. They're not necessary. We've got a brand new bus line here. Although this bus is definitely clipping with those houses. That's not ideal. I would also think having a bus that goes all the way through would be nice, but I guess our tram is doing that. So we don't really need to do any more buses there. All right, let's give this bus line a name. Bus line number 9 is Easton to Mullins. Okay, and then I do think we need to switch this pink line. It's no longer Willow Terrace to Pinewood Acres. It's really coming from Ortega all the way down over here to Easton. Okay, so now we've got our buses set up. That looks pretty good. We've got our trams. We've got the rest of this. Now we need parks. We have no parks over here. There are going to be some parks here for the university, but I don't believe, like, even if I place this guy, like if I hold it over, it's not going to actually reach too much of this area. So I think having some parks down here would be valuable. We could definitely consider a park here in the center. Let's see if we have any that are just a square. Large parks? No. That would fit. I think it's ugly, but if it fits, this is the Color Plaza, the Dockyard Lounge. That does not make sense here. Campfire. You know what? You know what? This is our nature preserve. Oh, I have too many paths. All right, maybe this is just going to go right here. How's that look? It looks perfect. Okay, great. That's going there. Was not planning to build that, but we did. We do have this round guy, which I don't think that goes over there, but I could see this going over here in the park. Nature preserve. Yep, that's great. Okay. Really not helping Mullins out much, are we? Chirper Park, no. I think we do this. Let's do the Color Plaza. Basketball court, playground, gym area, and cafe, all in one vibrant spot for everyone to enjoy. Although it does feel a little like it belongs like in a denser area. Like it's got a cafe. Let's do this instead. Let's do the Chirper Adventure Park. It's not my favorite in terms of the colors, but it's a huge playground. This is a residential area. It's going to do great things. All right, let's grab some trees here. We're just going to do a little smattering of trees along the edge. We're going to do a fixed length. I want all the same height. Bam. Bam. And then I think we could consider putting in some pathways back here. I just think it would be, now that we're seeing how this looks, I think we can do some pathways. First, I'm going to go through and remove all of these key walls. Now let's go ahead and put some paths in here. if we were to go from here straight on through, I think we even let it add crosswalks. I'm into it. Here we can even go further, although we would mess up a few houses if we did. So I think we just start with this one. Again, send that straight on through. Right here, we can do it again. Very walkable section of our city, which I'm super excited about. This one might be a little tough. Nope, nailed it. Over here, there's not gonna be any paths. All right, we could also do a little bit more work here in terms of getting some different houses up. Let's do the, you know what, let's do the Japanese ones over here. It's not a very big section. So let's just like see what we get and just let it be a little different. It's gonna be a lot of the same because everything over here is 2 tiles back, but yeah, let's do it. And let's see how these Chinese houses turned out. Oh yeah, just something a little different than what we had elsewhere. I like that. They're gonna need to be some trees put there as well. Okay, a lot of people here have driveways. That's great. These EE low densities didn't do exactly what I was hoping for, but honestly, we're gonna let it be. That's how that neighborhood developed. It's all gonna change anyway once we get once we decide to upgrade all this into higher density. How are you doing? Getting a little close. Getting a little close. All right. In terms of parking lots, I think we do some parking lots right here. 1, 2. Right there next to the school. Needs a bit more tree work there. Okay. We never figured out what we were doing here. I was thinking this would also be parking lot. I don't know if we're going to have one that fits though in here. Like that's just a bit too long. That's a bit too long. We do have this guy, or we have the medium parking lot. If we do the medium, it's not going to fit perfectly, but we could put something behind it. Like say we did this and then we did one of these. Or better yet, actually, hold on. Get rid of the medium parking lot. Do this parking lot. I don't think you'll be able to fit all 3. So instead, we're going to do 2 and 2. I'm actually going to, hold on. We're going to replace them one more time. I'm sorry, everybody. I do want to snap them to the road. 1 and 2. And then right in the middle, let's do a pedestrian path leading to the park. That's perfect. Okay, this area is looking pretty good. Needs some trees, needs a bit of detailing, but all around, I'm not mad about it. I think we've got all of our services. Ooh, except for we don't have any good post offices over here. So this is a post office, post office, post office. They're not able to do what they need to do. So we're going to need to invest in some better post offices. For now, I'm just going to build one down this way. We will do the small post office, 25,000 storage capacity, 200 mailboxes, 10 post vans, or excuse me, 4 post vans. This one's 50,000 storage. This one is 50,000 with way more mailbox capacity, same number of vans. This has more vans. Oh, great capacity on that one. All right, let's do a regular post office. This is going to go right here near the school. Nothing crazy. We will have this function over here, kind of in this section. This is your post office, and we'll see if that works. Happy with that. Okay, last thing we do need to do, and I was thinking about this off camera, but I think what we want to do is for telecom, I'd love to build this modern telecom building. It does the same thing as the telecom tower. It's got a better network capacity, better range. However, it does have much more expensive upkeep. However, I'm not that concerned about it. I think we can make it work. And the perfect place for it is going to be right here in the heart of our downtown. If we get rid of both of these guys, we can place this building right here. I mean, it fits perfectly. Now we've got a modern telecom tower. Everyone's got the services they need. That is going to help out so much. Look at that. Everyone's covered. And now if we added more, we could even just expand that reach, but I don't think we need to do all that. Post office is not great yet. We still gotta work on that. Maybe what we could do though is like over here, you guys could have a little post office here, post box. You guys could have one right here. We could place another one over here. Right, we've got some post boxes covering that area. And then if we click on this, what if you also operate here? Yeah, that's working great for this area. So we just need to revamp the post offices for all of our citizens. Why don't we go ahead and place some trees? Now it's totally surrounded by trees. We love it. Oh, something burnt down. You burned down. Okay, I think we do in fact need a new firehouse down here because even though it says it's covered, it burned down. Let's just do a small little US Southwest firehouse. Nothing crazy. The closest one, there's one over there, but there is none all the way in this area. I think that this is just not telling me correctly where we need fire because that's crazy. So now that building's burned down. We're just going to delete it. Someone else can move there. Sorry, everyone. This is what happens when we pack you in so tight. I think we've covered it all. I mean, we've got a lot finished here today. Let me just remove some of these trees that are in places I did not actually want them to be. Those ones can go. All this is fine. This one can go. Both of these can go. And then there was additional ones over here in the parking lot that I did not want. Okay. All right. So the last sliver of land we have here is this little area of Mulberry Street. Let's see if there's any unique buildings or anything we want to place over here. We've got all of these Mediterranean style buildings. None of those are going to work. I think we've got everything we can from there. We have the Iron Press building, and there's also a cafe. For commercial buildings, we do have a number of buildings we could build. There is some of these smaller buildings. We've got a Riverside Grill, Espresso, Lobster Tail. Then we've got some more like downtown buildings, which are kind of cool. What is this? Canopy Cafe, Gusto Gelato. I think this neighborhood does need something like this. A cinema, a multi-screen cinema. Oh yeah, okay. I think we're placing this multi-screen cinema in here. Yep, that's gonna go right there. I'd say right next to it, let's go ahead and just do a little alleyway right along the side of the building. Just like that, Hickory Lane. Yep, that's great. This little section here, we've already got a decent parking lot. So I actually think we just put a path or two in here and leave this section alone. I don't even think I need to put trees. Like if we just came over here and we just kind of snaked a path through here and pretended this was like some kind of park, I think that's totally fine. We'll place a few of these guys just like along the side of the building. But that's it. And then right here, I mean, we might as well consider doing some police services down here because this central area is lacking for police coverage. I know we just keep spending money and that number keeps going down, but I think we've got to do it. So let's place a small police station there. I think we're going to then come through here and just fill in kind of this back section with pavement. Bam. Yeah, I think that's valuable. We needed that. All right, we've got this guy. Let's also build, I'm thinking this could be a great place for the grocery store. Down at the end of Robin Street. It's a big building. Morrissey's Supermarket. It's pretty large. But I think we're in an area of the city where we've got the room to build things that are large. It's saying invalid shape. I'm not entirely sure what's invalid though. Let's turn on anarchy and try this. Because it's right against the road. That's not invalid. Oh, yeah. Yep. We've got a big supermarket right down here. Right off Robin Street in south of the city. Oh, that's great. Okay. I think that's where we're going to leave this part here. We were able to bring in about, I don't know, 8,000, 9,000 more people. We are still in the positive, even though our money is fluctuating in an unhealthy way. We did not do anything to help out with our unemployment rate. We're still at 26.6%, which is going up a little bit. So I think what we're going to do in the next part here is two things. First, we're going to build out this university so we can start getting people educated for better office jobs, better business jobs. Then, now with this new expansion down here, I think it's time for us to begin to further level up this area of our city, our heart of our downtown. There is a lot of these mid-rise buildings. They're all residential. I think we might need to do some overhaul here. We're going to change some of these out into offices, into businesses, and just really inject the jobs into the city. So we're going to do both of those things next time. For now, I'm going to let this run a bit. Make sure we stay in the positive. Let me know if you have any thoughts, comments, or feedback down below. I mean, all around, that was massive. It's one of the biggest builds we've done yet. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.